Alright, so while I'm being painted as a Senators hater in the other video I posted this morning, which I'm not, I don't know how that came across that way, there's another thing happening in the world of hockey. And over the last couple of days, in between being ill and other related items, I haven't been able to address this. And it's the Ryan Johansen versus Ryan Kesler, Ryan on Ryan violence that's going on between Anaheim and Nashville. So Johansen's mad about the way that Kesler's playing. He's hooking, he's slashing, he's chirping, he's being Ryan Kesler. Kesler did this in the last series, and I don't remember McDavid saying a whole lot. Kesler did it to Calgary, and you hear the Flames complaining a lot. I think Johansen should just stop whining. That's right, boys and girls. I'm siding with Kesler on this one. I hate on Kesler a lot. I do. And rightfully so. The guy is aggravating. He's one of the worst pests in the NHL. And that's his job. Do you think he gets paid $6 million a year because he took that naked photo a few years ago that's so popular over the internet? No. Does he get $6 million a year because he's a 50-goal scorer? No. $50 million because fangirls all over the world go nuts over him? No. He gets that $6 million a year because he plays Ryan Kesler hockey. And it is aggravating, and it is frustrating, and he cheats. He does what pests do. He bends the rules and bends the rules, and he embellishes to get penalties, and he does all this, and I can't stand him, but that's his job. And that's why his teammates are saying we want him to keep doing this. And that's why Johansen's teammates are saying, oh no, Kesler's not in his head. Kesler's absolutely in Johansen's head. Or Johansen wouldn't be whining about it. And then, you know, TSN had Marty Biron saying, yeah, this is whining by Johansen. And Aaron Ward saying, it's not whining. It's great. It's good. Next game, you're going to see all these penalties called against Kesler. Why? I've been complaining for months that the NHL's not calling slashing and hooking anymore. You know, and not calling those penalties is what bogged us down in the trap era in the first place. And now suddenly we got teams playing the trap again that are doing really well in the playoffs. Isn't that weird? That's strange. They just stopped calling hooking and slashing and holding, and it's this kind of stuff that, you know, just it's sort of defeating to a hockey fan. But just because Kesler's using the leniency on these calls to his advantage doesn't mean that Johansen has to sit and whine about it. Sort of like, you know, Forsberg's low blow on Silverberg, and that was intentional too. But I haven't heard anything said about Silverberg. I haven't heard anything said by Silverberg, because odds are Silverberg's like, oh, whatever, we won the game, and there's no point saying anything. He just better hope I don't catch him with his head down next game. And Forsberg did it in such a way too that you could argue it was mid-stride and it's just the natural movement of his stick. Caught him right in the crotch. I don't buy it, but you know, I'm sure there are fans that will. At this time of year, you have players who will whine and complain. And if somebody's going to complain about complain and whine about holding and hooking and slashing, it's Sid Crosby. Nobody gets hooked and slashed like that guy. Look at all the punishment Erik Karlsson's taken for the Senators since he revealed that he's got a fracture in his foot. He's been beaten all to hell. And he's still playing. He's not complaining. Johansen, from what I've seen, is healthy. In good shape. A young kid. So there's that whole suck it up buttercup kind of mentality. And that's what he should be doing. If he wants to fight back, fight back. You know, Kesler's hooking, slashing, holding. Turn around, punch him right in the head. Yeah, you take a 2-minute minor for roughing. Fine. But, you know, do something. And if you're not going to do something, okay, fine. But complaining and being upset at the way Kesler's playing hockey, when he's always played this way, you would think that Johansen's never seen Kesler play. And Johansen is perceived by Kesler to be the guy that he has to shut down, the guy he has to neutralize, the guy he's focusing on. So for Kesler, this is his guy this series. And that's the way it is. So I'm in the uncomfortable position of saying Kesler's right. They haven't been making these calls. Kesler's exploiting it. Part of the reason that I got upset about embellishment by Kesler wasn't just that he'd embellished to get penalties, it was that it worked. It was that he would embellish and the referees would throw their arms in. Oh yeah, no, that's a penalty. And it's like the high stick didn't even get close to him. It never caught him in the face because it never had a chance. So, you know, and he's an easy target for me because everybody can't stand him. And yet here comes Johansen complaining and whining, and it's like, geez, come on, kid. You got a series tied at 1. You're going home. You know, he's playing his game. It's part of the reason why they're in the Final Four right now, is because Kesler plays this game and he plays it well. And every now and then he chips in on the score sheet too. It's why, while I liked him or didn't like him as a member of the Canucks, and hint, I didn't, I admitted he was a key player for Vancouver. For 2 years there in Vancouver, he was near a point a game. He had a 40-goal season. He's capable. Ryan Kesler's capable. Could be a very good offensive threat. And a very effective pest. And he's always, his whole career, he's always been great at shutting down the opposition's top forwards. Always. When he was first in the NHL as a regular, and he was playing on a third line with Burrows, anytime Burrows and Kesler were on the ice together, you knew they were going to do two things. They were going to shut the other team down, and they were going to make some crazy play together. And they were fun to watch. And that was before they were scoring points like they would later, and that was well before the putting Burrows on the Sedin line experiment was tried. Burrows and Kesler were two-thirds of a third line that was pretty effective for Vancouver, even while the team wasn't particularly good outside of them. And Kesler has never forgot what he learned playing that grinding role in Vancouver, that pest role. And you have to wonder how much of Burrows and Kessler's game came from them playing together all the time, and potentially one saying, "Hey, I did this, and I drove that guy nuts," and they fed on each other. So it's just a matter of Kesler's feeding on what Johansen's giving him right now, and he's in Johansen's head. And that kind of play, that kind of back and forth, can make the difference in a series. Because if Kesler can knock Johansen off his game, so if Johansen stops producing, starting with Game 3, and starts focusing on, I want to drive that Kesler guy through the boards, and he starts focusing on Kesler instead of on the game, Kesler won. And the Ducks will probably win too. Because Rene started to look human. And you've always got to be suspicious of that. When a goaltender puts up stats that are way above the rest of his career standard, you have to wonder when that market correction is going to show up. And it could be the Anaheim series that corrects that for Rene. But we'll see. We're not even into Game 3 yet. But I'm signing with Ryan Kesler. And it feels awful. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, and thank you so much for watching. I apologize that many Senators fans are upset with my comments from this morning. I'm just calling it as I saw it. And it's not a matter of the end of the world. It's a matter of when you see one team that is just the talent disparity is clear, and being able to offset that, you have to have your grinders and your aggravators out there, like a Ryan Kesler in Anaheim. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all again soon.